put C before the K in my last name. Classic. Bunch of work getting done in London. D-Rock's doing his thing. I'm focused. Got a keynote today. Business meetings. London office, VaynerMedia exploding. Good stuff. Rocking.
I told you I could change the world with a sentence that clicked. A bunch of words and a shot I don't miss. A lot of moves, watch your stance. Everybody died the man until you follow his plans.
Just a random thought while I'm in London now, just trying to add more context to the vlog. Just looking at an email from Kim Garcia, who runs our Vayner Experience new division now. Just completely infatuated with how the social world, aka PRing yourself to the world, has led to people doing a lot of live events and experiences, and very excited about Vayner Experience. A lot of small businesses here, a lot of you who are watching, a lot of big companies, executives should be doing a lot more in 2017, 2018, 2019 around live events, small business, and there's the state fair, you know, coming up in the summer, or a 4th of July extravaganza that everybody in your town goes to. Well, you need to hit up the organizers and offer them some money, and then you need to make some sort of setup there that induces social creative. So, you know, kind of like creating a background or setting up your booth in a spot that's the best spot, and then putting, like, take your Instagram photos here, buying a Snapchat filter over to 20,000 square feet on their ad product. I think VaynerMedia's ability to activate experiences, brands activations at the Kentucky Derby, the NFL Draft, you know, Coachella, is going to end up becoming a very substantial part of our business and our world. And I definitely think we're going to be focusing on, you know, the Budweisers and the Toyotas and the Chases of the world. But I definitely think for a lot of you here, as Vayner itself is becoming a much bigger player in small business with Vayner Beta and what we're doing there, I do think that $10,000 to $25,000 of risk, $50,000 of risk at a big event or a big regional or local event for a lot of your businesses is super important. So many of you have fashion brands or startup, you know, coffees or breathing stripes or things of that nature, and you're trying to do a lot of influencer marketing, but a nice way to round out your execution and your branding is to activate at events. And so, you know, I think giving out hats at the Memorial Day event in your local community is just good strategy, just getting your product out there. And so experience, real life stuff, realizing that people are hiking and going to Coachella and going to the fireworks event more today now because they want to post it on their Instagram, and social media is a new behavior that people need to reconcile and take advantage of. And I do believe that most entrepreneurs don't think of experience and event marketing, especially as we're in a digital world, especially if you're following me. I think that there are arbitrages, there are opportunities in all facets, not just which app is next or what person's about to become the next big vlogger, or not just Alexa and podcasting, because I think voice is a huge arbitrage. Literally the two things that are most on my mind right now as a marketer are, you know, how I'm going to activate against voice, podcasts and Alexa and Google Home, and how I'm going to activate and take advantage of people now going to more events, major and minor, to promote themselves, and how brands and businesses can interact in that. And so it's a little bit of a different look. It's a good little rant. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that people, a lot of insight. That kid motivated me yesterday in London. Trying to get a little deeper. Rah, rah, rah.
Don't be stupid, don't be dumb. Don't judge me off of where I'm from. Don't be foolish, use your mind. These simple labels ain't got me, son. I start humble, end up easy. Man, I make this look easy. Can't stop or break or bail. Swore I would never fail. New faces, new demands. Success changed all your friends. Old friends turned into fans. Those fans in love with plans.
Athletes plus TV shows. How is there no athlete I know with the last name Orange? I want to use oranges that I've got mine.
Yeah.
Yep. Mine is Jamal Charles in charge.
That's really good.
Jamal Charles, baby. That's not bad at all. Yeah. Feeling pretty good.
So are big companies doomed? You get to that kind of innovator's dilemma thing.
Of course big companies are doomed. The good thing for big companies is a lot of times they have an 80-year run and a lot of people make a lot of money along the way. But sure, what big company hasn't lost?
So I guess VaynerMedia.
Right? I mean, that's a very important statement. Like Woolworths, IBM, and IBM's still kicking. It's not like it's dead, but Woolworths isn't. And IBM is not what IBM was in 1979. Microsoft is not what Microsoft was in 1992. You know, Google is not what Google was in 2001. Like, why did Google let Facebook happen? Right? You know, I mean, I don't think people get it. Like, of course that's what happens. Show me. I don't live in fantasy land. Doesn't happen. There's not a single client that does the work that I want them to do.
Yet.
Period.
Okay.
Because look, first of all, if you're in client services, it will never happen.
Yeah.
Like anybody who cries about that in client services should get out of client services. Like I hate when people are like, oh, the client doesn't get it. This sucks, they're stupid. I'm like, you're stupid. We're reverse engineers. The problem we solve for them is their problem. I don't care if what you meet, you know, Chase is a client of ours in the US, right? Like, they're huge. They have a million problems. And when I say problems, the truth is, and I'm sure you guys feel this way, they have a million opportunities. Right? Do they want people to open up bank accounts? Great, there's a strategy for that. Do they want to recruit talent? I mean, I would tell you a lot of people who are listening right now, the biggest thing I think, so we have a division called Vayner Solutions. It's run by Dennis OG. I can't even pronounce, I'm Russian and can't pronounce his last name. You know, when I think about the $150,000 audit that we're selling, because we're not Bain or McKinsey yet, and we would normally, you know, in 4 years, we're gonna sell, what I'm about to tell you, we would sell for $150,000. A bank listening would reach out to us and say, hey, we want you to audit our ability to acquire better talent for our bank from a technology and innovation, not developers, but marketers and executives who have digital DNA so that our bank can survive this inevitable death blow that whether it's cryptocurrency or Apple and Google and Amazon and Facebook's foray into their world, this is what's gonna happen to them. Well, when I think about the $150,000 package we play for the audit and then the output and the advice and the presentation, that is ridiculous ROI. I also am empathetic to why they don't see that. And then I'm excited for them to not buy it now, but buy it for $1 million in 4 years. But like that's something I think a lot of like banks and B2B companies should be hiring us for. And then the video output, right? Like I just think nobody makes the modern day commercial better than my company. Like if you want to spend $300,000 to make something happen, I think our $150,000 video and our $150,000 Facebook ads and influencers on Instagram will give you a better chance than any Google or programmatic, any commercial, any print. And so that's what we strive to do.
No longer I'm addicted to the heights and trying to live better, so hit the cameras and the lights. Started on the low, now I'm addicted to the heights and trying to live better.
It's just work. Like there's just no shortcuts. It's a marathon. You know, like it's a ton of work. It's about being right. I love when people are like, well, you've got to be smart, not just right. Work hard. Oh yeah, Gary, but you got to work smart. I'm like, no shit, dick. Like yes, of course you have to work smart. Next. The part that people don't want to do is work hard.
Yeah.
Like the smart part is not controllable. Like either you're smart about your strategy or not. Like the hard part is controllable. Like you can work 5 extra hours a day instead of watching TV or going to the pub. You can work on the weekends like I did for every single year of my 20s, all of them. Every year of my 20s, I worked on Saturday for 14 hours in the liquor store. I don't know. Nobody who in my company works on Saturday ever. So like, you know, I think, anyway.
The harder you work, the luckier you get, right?
It's an amazing correlation, isn't it? Do you know how hard it is for me to do this vlog? 90% of my meetings are talking about raises and clients and salaries and firing and strategizing about clients' work. And you know, there's a PR headache we have with a client right now. People are mad at me. I can't speak to it. I'm legally obligated. Like, you know, it's gonna happen to you. The vlog's been interesting to me. It is really an interesting piece of content because I treat it as something that I would have made for the 15-year-old me, right? Like I learn by watching. Like people are like, Gary, you're, you know, somebody stopped me in the street yesterday in London and is like, Gary, you're getting too motivational, I need more details. Like you're getting away from who you are. I'm like, you're getting confused. This is who I am. You need to watch what I'm doing. I say it, you know, I say it a lot, right? Watch what I'm doing. Why am I doing this podcast? You know I'm one of the 5 biggest podcasts in the world? All my handlers think this is the biggest waste of 30 minutes ever. This is critiqued as a bad idea. Now let's break down why I'm doing it. I think karma is practical. I like giving back to my community. I think it's ROI positive. Do I think you have 1 million fucking people listening to this? No, I do not. Do I think that 13 people have never heard of me before listen to this and get onto me? I sure do. Do I think in a 15-year window that becomes valuable in my 30 minutes? Because my 30 minutes are probably worth $100,000 now, yeah, I do in 15 years. Do I think in the next 15 weeks? I don't. 15 months? Nope. 1.5 years? Probably not. That's it.
Sure.
That's how I think about the world.
I told you I could change the world and I will when I'm ready. Hey, a bunch of words I got loaded and deadly.
We're not historians. We don't look back to 1955 and say who was dominating from 1855 to 1916. We don't do that. Like we think, oh my God, my company's been around for 120 years. We're not going anywhere because they just don't do the homework. I think voice is going to be so I would actually ladder it up. I would say voice. I think that podcast ads, becoming a podcast, Alexa skills, these are all things that are very top of mind for me. One thing that people are misunderstanding is that time is the only thing that is driving our behavior, right? Like the only thing. Time is an emerging thing that's driving our behavior above and beyond entertainment, escapism, things of that nature. So,
meaning if you can save it, you can win.
Correct. Meaning when you are driving, you are not watching a video. You're just not. And so, but you have Bluetooth now, and your car has Bluetooth, and instead of the serendipity of whatever the local station is playing, or the music that you've had on your whatever, you know, it's been interesting to watch people shift from music consumption to information.
Yeah.
Podcasting is big. Big.
You know what's so funny too about podcasting?
It's what we're building. We just launched a new division called Vayner Experience.
Yeah,
because
that's what they're calling it now for us too, right? Total brand experience.
Because we think activations matter.
Yeah.
Like we are obsessed with activating. Like there's so much product to be sold when the Rugby World Championship was here, but every brand paid a sponsorship, had some cockamanian booth outside of Wembley Stadium and called it a day.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by how much money brands are wasting on activations without making social content created by people in the batter. Everybody's making the cupcake and then at the end going, oh, let's do a hashtag like on the sign, and people will put that and nobody gives a fuck. When an influencer takes a picture, when a person takes a picture of your product without you knowing,
Yeah.
like it happens every day.
Yeah.
You guys aren't in control of the narrative. People are seeing it in different lights. Some retailers put you on an end cap at $3.99. Others put you on a pedestal for $4.19. You guys are not in control, but you think you are, and you're justifying that marketing talk because that's how everybody was taught marketing 40 fucking years ago. It's ludicrous. It stands for, everybody's interpreting differently. Louis Vuitton, go ahead, write it down. Write down right now 2 sentences on Louis Vuitton. Knock yourselves out. Let's see how fucking aligned this actually is. This is what marketers think is happening. It's not real.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It's schizophrenic? It's not schizophrenic at all. I know I have to go. It's the reality it's the reality of what is actually happening. So yeah, that's what I think. So, Dan?
Yeah.
How are you? Gary?
Really good, thanks. Hey, Gary.
How are you? Such a pleasure. Oh.
Hi, man. Yeah.
Never heard of burning, earning, murders, murking, turning, earning, learning ways. Passing days as the truth fades away. Hey, one time for my LA sisters, one time for my LAOs, one time for my backpack rap fans, one time for my fans back home. Everybody change, everybody change, everybody change, but not everybody grow. Everybody change, I've grown into someone you don't know. Started on the low, now I'm addicted to the heights. Adrenaline feeling, so hit the cameras and the lights. Started on the low, now I'm addicted to the heights. Adrenaline feeling, so hit the cameras and the lights. Hey,
How are you?
60 plus online entrepreneurs.
I love it.
Thank you so much, Gary.
You're welcome, guys.
really
See you guys
appreciate
inside.
that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hello, here we
we're
are.
video, live.
We are live at the ILIC Conference Center, and yes, finally,
Yes?
the moment we've all been waiting for, the incomparable Garyvee.
Thank
So, are
you.
you excited?
No. No, I'm just kidding. Super
Always excited to
Always
be
ready
back
to
in
go.
London.
Always.
So, I just want to thank you again for
Thank you.
making the trip.
I'm thrilled
I know
to be
it's
here.
going to be short and sweet.
Yes, heading home tonight. But super focused. Gonna get my shit together. I'm gonna drill it on stage in a couple of bits.
Drill it.
Awesome. Thank you. Good
I'll
to see
see
you.
you
I'll see you up
after.
there. Hey guys. Hello. What up? It's my wife's birthday tomorrow. You gotta wrap your head around realizing how fortunate you are and how life is only one at bat and how great it is, and you know you gotta jam one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. And so to me, the advice that I believe in is that like the hard work and the efforts are the most controllable thing, and so you need to keep grinding, and if they aren't happening the way you want them to, you've got to stay patient. I mean, there's just no other option. So I think patience, hard work, and just perspective of reminding yourself why you're doing it. How have you been?
Good.
Good.
Christian.
Christian, such a pleasure meeting you. Yeah. Hey brother, good to see you again. How you been?
Mobbed downstairs by all your people waiting for you.
Yeah, is it crazy?
It's crazy. For my audience, they all know the sort of importance of personal branding, but if you had to do just one thing, one sort of concerted effort of building a personal brand, you could only do one thing, whether that's sort of Instagram, etc. What would that one thing be?
Daily vlog.
And documenting yourself.
100%. And not painting a fake narrative. So if you're on the biggest problem that people make, or mistake, not problem, that people make when they're building a personal brand is they want to fake it before they made it. They want to say they're this, or they start a vlog and they start doing shit that they've never done. Like my vlog's boring as fuck. Like it's been, like I've done, what are we at, D-Rock, 250?
No.
Whatever. I've done 200 episodes plus, and like 84% of them have similarities, right? Like, I think that if you're gonna document versus creating, then you've gotta document your truth. So if you're just like a bro in the basement of your house trying to become an esports celebrity and you kind of suck at Call of Duty or League of Legends, just fucking document it.
Sure.
Like document going to 7-Eleven and buying Doritos. Like document like taking the cab to the fucking grocery. Like people are genuinely, so I think people think they're trying to paint a documentary or be on Shark Tank. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, what they should be doing is doing a reality show. Mm-hmm. And if you're just truly yourself, you have a much better chance of success, because the only thing that is unique are you know, it's very cliche, like you're like a fucking snowflake. Mm-hmm. But the truth is, that's true.
And if someone's life is
boring, yeah,
do they still document?
Yes.
Yeah.
But then what they have to understand is, if they're boring and not smart and not interesting and not funny and not attractive, nobody's gonna watch.
Good.
Like you've got to have something. We all, like, why do you think people break out? Like, it is talent. But if you're not documenting, like, look, there's an unlimited amount of people that can win on vlogging and on Instagram because they're just fucking hot. They may not be that interesting, but if you're building more exposure, you're a model. Some people are comedians. Some people are business legends. You know, like some people are gonna be what they're gonna be. So I think that documenting makes sense, because the other thing is, if you're not documenting as a personal brand, you're pondering, you're overthinking. It's about production. It's about putting it out there. What's very different than the old TV world, the old music world that we all grew up with, is I think people overthink their content. There's too much supply and demand issues with content. You can never, feed the audience too much because they're not consuming every little thing you're doing. And if they are, and I have that, I have a personality where people get in the rabbit hole and they're there for a while and then they kick out and then they kick back in. It's no different than when you're really into an artist. You're all about fucking Lady Gaga for like a year and then you're not for a year or two, and then if Gaga's good enough and her next album's good, right? I'm a big believer that you just build the biggest building by building the biggest building. I don't spend any time tearing down people's buildings. Biggest reason I don't talk a lot about the bad part of entrepreneurship is I don't want people to get the misperception that I'm like, I'm an entrepreneur, you're not. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're depressed, if you're like sad, if you're going into debt, there's people like going into $100,000 in credit card debt to start their company and they've never sold anything in their lives because they want to put entrepreneur on a fucking Instagram profile. Like that scares me. Like that's gonna have ramifications. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's everybody's different. I love eating shit. I love the process. I'm only about the journey. I even think subconsciously I leave a lot of money on the table because I'm trying to foreplay the outcome. Like I think it's so locked in that I'm trying to like delay it. Because I love it so much, so everybody's different. Everybody wants stuff. I don't want stuff. I don't want a yacht. I don't want a watch. I don't want a jet. I want the New York Jets, but that's about it. And honestly, even that, I would far prefer, if you told me if I could have it my way, would I take the Jets at 64 or would I take the Jets at 46? I would take it at 64. I want the grind. I want the narrative. I want the legacy. I want the documentation of it. Because I know it's gonna be way more powerful when I have 27 years of vlogs of showing how I got there, because that's not seeing just Instagram. Yeah. So when kid rolls up at me at 62 and goes, I'll be like, go watch DailyVee 1 to 14,086. Then, right? Because that's your point. That's what's so great about this body of work. I'm gonna have something. I wish people, I've started putting up some older content. I put up a piece on Instagram yesterday from 2008, saying the same shit. It's fucking 10 years later. I've been doing this for a long time. Everyone's like, Garyvee, like, obviously I've had some real viral growth in my personal brand in the last 6 months. It's definitely taken a different leap. But people are like, oh, you blew up overnight. I'm like, fuck me. I'm like, really?
I'm an 18-year-old entrepreneur.
Yep.
I've started a business. What question, and I know I'm meeting you today, what question should I be asking you?
That's a great question, actually. So I'm gonna answer that slightly different. I'm gonna answer it with anything that allows me to say something that makes you realize don't give a fuck about anything for the next 18 years. If I could convince every 18-year-old entrepreneur to shut down the emotional needs for short-term shit until they're 36, they will all be successful. Let me tell you a secret. This is a little secret. The majority of entrepreneurs that you look up to shit on you behind your back because they can see the short-term bullshit behavior. The biggest thing I tell a lot of kids I fall in love with emotionally, I'm like, bro, you might be tricking 93%, but the 7% that rule the world think you're a clown. And that is the energy that I want to give the 18-year-old. How much time you have, and when you're doing short-term shit and faking the funk and raising capital and not actually building a business or playing the part or just going to parties or renting a yacht when you don't have it to play the part, you're tricking 93% and it feels real good. The problem is the 7% are gonna matter. I think you've already lost with them. There's a lot of people that I've crossed out that everybody thinks is super cool, and they're not gonna be here in 6 years because I've been through this before. Cool.
Thank you so much.
You got
really
it.
Appreciate it.
Awesome, my pleasure.
Thank you so much for your time. Cool.
That was some good stuff.
All right, it's good, yeah. Try to think about this.
Listen, I think you win when you fucking fall in love with patience and you love the fucking grind.
I'm Matthew.
Matthew,
Good
Gary,
to meet you.
how are
Good
you?
To meet you. Hi Gary, I'm Roland. Nice to
Roland,
meet you.
real pleasure, Gary.
Richard.
Richard, such a pleasure. Hey, good to see you again.
Sanjay.
Sanjay, good to
We
see you
met
again.
only
Yes, sir,
about
outside.
15 minutes
Hi.
ago.
Lucy, such a pleasure.
James.
James, such a pleasure.
Anyway.
Enough files trying to form a new story. Tell C's keep the mic recording, cause these words here gon' get me touring.
I'll tell you what you should do. You should partner with somebody who's a financial-based individual, a CFO, and have her or him help you justify the savings of money and sell only on that. You might be able to sell me, but the problem with me is we're already kind of doing it in a weird way with our chief heart officer. Like, I'm already sold. Then you've got 99.3% of the rest of the market who don't give a fuck. They're companies. But if you walk in and say you will save $1.9 million and you have it not the way you and I intuitively know, but you have it in data, you will sell a shitload.
Beautiful.
Got it?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. The biggest thing with that model that I'm fearful of is normally the ROI of the cost doesn't match the quality of the content. And so I think as long as you deliver on that, then you've got something very real. The problem is the math gets too good and the person allows it to dilute.
Right.
There's been a lot of people who've started mastermind and scaled advice businesses that started with the right intent.
Yeah.
And then got fucked in the best way possible for them because they made a lot more money. I think the only piece of advice I would give you, my man, is there's a very fine line between being great and being completely full of shit and spammy in this model, which is why I don't do it, because I don't think I can control it, because I think I'm too charismatic and good of a salesman that it would be so big that I would fuck it up so bad and I would be cliche of what I make fun of. I would just tell you, this is by the way, this is why I'm giving you this advice. It's a foregone conclusion to me that you'll be okay and it's gonna work. So that's not the advice I'm giving you. The advice I'm giving you is if you care about your legacy, you need to be very smart that you don't get seduced by the model. And all of a sudden people are paying a lot of money for getting nothing or something they can get online for free. Which is why I spend my time writing books and speaking and building an agency, because once you make it about you, to make it big, you gotta make it shitty. Yeah, it's I've never said it that way, so that made a lot of sense to everybody here, right? That's what happens. The thing that you always wanna do is you wanna win with winners, and a lot of these models win with losers. So, you wanna win with winners. Something to think about. My big thing is you just gotta feel good about it. And if you don't, and you're asking me because of that, well then bring it a little bit back. You don't need to build the biggest business. Gotta feel good about how you make your money, and if you don't, you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable to yourself, and you're vulnerable to the market.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I can make $100 million a year being me in this model. I don't want to because I don't like the idea of, I can't screen who's taking it. Like to me, it's back to this winners losers thing. The model attracts the wrong moths in its worst form. When I say document and don't create, when I say act like a media company, when I say the most important one, watch what I'm doing versus what I'm saying. Even think about what's happening here. I'm synthesizing it for you, but it's what I'm doing versus what I'm saying. This is it, man.
Okay.
You can build a huge fan base. You can literally film shit, make an episode every day, put it on Facebook, run $500 worth of ads against your fans, and fucking own it. Because I may fall in love with the groundskeeper guy.
Yeah.
And she may fall in love with the really cute midfielder, and he may really like the coach. Right?
Yeah, perfect.
That will work. You should let them put out a song every day on SoundCloud and Spotify.
Every day?
Yes.
What about the quality of the song? Because that's what they like. They're like,
You're so excited. Who likes, the fans or the writers?
No, the artists, they can be hard work. They're like, we've got to get this right.
They're wrong.
Right, okay.
Their quality is subjective to their own mind. It's why they're artists.
Exactly, yeah. Well, I knew that, but okay. So
you have nothing else, right? Like there's no way to win music without putting out volumes of music.
So put it on SoundCloud free.
Yep, and Spotify free.
Yeah.
And then. And that's a joke, but the reality is if they're good, I think it's a volume game.
Yeah.
And I think if they're good enough, that one song can change everything. You gotta look. I think D-Rock can send you this, so I can say to them, like, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be fancy and subjective about your music and not put it out, well then you're gonna have less chances of winning. So like, what do you want? Would you, like, I have good news. Why don't you put out a song every day for 3 years, and then if one of them hits, then you can afford to not put one out every day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
I mean, I think artists want their shit to get out to the world. I think that they're insecure, but what they don't realize, it's all subjective. It's just subjective. Like, I don't know, like, I vlog and like, there's something I said in here and they'll edit it and I don't tell them what to fucking edit and maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. And like, I don't know, every day people are like, the best thing you've ever said. And I'm like, really? Fucking that's shit. Or like, I'm like, you know, like, I'm like, and then, or the next day it's like, why didn't that video crush? That's the smartest shit I've ever said. I've written 4 books. The best book I wrote is called Thank You Economy. It's the least selling by far.
Yeah, it's an awesome book. Love it.
Thank you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
it's just awareness. And the way you get awareness is running ads on underpriced places or siphoning awareness from underpriced places. There's 2 places, Facebook ads and influencers. Like, I am a broken fucking record. Like, it's what, you know, it's, D-Rock, what episode into the vlog did you say, how are we gonna create something interesting every day?
I think like 3.
It's true, it's true. Episode 3,
That's the principle. Isn't it?
episode 3, D-Rock goes, you know, I don't see this.
I don't know if I went that far.
So Gary,
The vibe was, you were concerned, you were like, how is this gonna be, like, interesting?
Yeah, when are we gonna jump out of a plane or, you know?
That's what you were thinking, right?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
What are we gonna do to like,
And like,
visually, like make it
and he's always
more
saying
like-
things like, look, if we made this 8 seconds instead of 30 or
Yeah.
this, and he's right, the data shows he's right, but I'm trying to prove a macro point.
Yeah.
You know how much fun this is gonna be for me? Because I'm doing this every day for the rest of my life. You know how much fun this is gonna be for me in 20 years when I get to tell a kid, go watch all 7,000 episodes of DailyVee to understand. You know how pissed I am I don't have this for the last 20 years of my life? Do you know how weird episode 1 through 10 years, through 3,600 would have been of every day being at the liquor store? You know how much more impactful that would be?
Yeah.
It's one thing when I say it, right?
yeah.
Notice how I'm even saying it in detail, how more impactful it is. Imagine seeing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine literally, as you got into me, you were like, let me go look at DailyVee. Look, so wait, that was Monday, that was like liquor store.
Why am I Brain TV 1,000 episodes?
Yeah, it's there.
And it's just me sitting and drinking.
From 2006 to 2011, 200 episodes a year, 250 episodes. I mean, I did 1,000 episodes in 5 years, like 200 4 years, like 200 plus episodes a year, like 5 days a week. Boom, boom. When I make those videos once in a while that you guys never want to make, which is 11 minutes of every episode of Wine Library TV just flashing, they're like, no, it's not going to do well. I know it's not going to do well. I'm just making a point.
But is there going to be any?
We've got a security issue downstairs. I need to get you in the room as quickly as possible.
Where are we going? Hey guys. Good, how are you? Hey guys. What's up guys? How are you? Nice shirt, bro. Hey guys. How are you, man? Good to see you.
Hey, Gary.
How are you, man?
Good, thanks.
Hi. You saying anything to him? All right, where am I going?
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Smile. Love you back. What's up, brother? What's up, my man?
12 weeks ago, I had a meeting with a man who changed my fucking life. He called me on my bullshit and he made me put this event together.
There's no C before the K in my last name. Classic. Here's what I think. I think that information is commoditized. There's so much information on the internet. It's hard to sell information, in my opinion, and feel good about it because there's so much of it. There's a reason my content is free. It's because the supply and demand of content is harder than ever to sell and differentiate if you want to feel great about it because there's so much content. Is your $300 thing actually available for 4 hours of Google searching? Is your $100 thing actually available for $9? The answer is yes. I'll save you time as you debate it. You know zero people that actually created wealth. I don't mean your lucky friend who inherited
his grandmother's money. I mean, you don't know anybody on earth that created an actual business and made wealth without working their fucking face off. There is no such thing as passive income. It doesn't exist. You might have something that's working for a little while because you did landing page optimization and you figured out how to arbitrage Google for a few seconds, aka a couple years, but that will go away when Google changes its algorithm, or when people go to mobile devices, or when Facebook becomes more important, which means it was working for 24 months or 16, but now it's not, which is everything but passive, because you start building your life on it, and then when shit hits the fan, you have to adjust and it really fucks you up. So these are the big things that I think about, which is why are so many people looking for shortcuts when life is long? Why are people not willing to do the tried and true thing when if you just audit every single situation, it's always the same thing, which is the people that run marathons win and the people that are running sprints lose. And it's because people lack patience, people are seduced by stuff, people make all their decisions on short-term money because they want stuff, people are insecure and want a posture in front of other people that they're successful. There's just a million fucking reasons why you do it, but it just doesn't make it right. So I'm on a little bit of a mission. You know, like my big thing is I build other businesses, and then the Garyvee stuff is kind of like out there and does its thing. Sure, it leads to opportunities, but for me, I'm on a mission for legacy around this. I'm not, you know, I'll get paid to come and speak, I'll write my books, but I'm not trying to create content as a top of the funnel thing to sell something at scale. I'm not against that. I know the far majority of people want to do that. Mazel tov, knock yourself out. It's just not the way I see it, because I don't think that's how the trends play out. And if you're good enough, you don't need it. So these are the things that keep playing over and over in my mind. Over and over in my mind. Over and over in my mind. Stakes are high, opportunities very high, the competition is real. Every single person in this room is competing with each other, no matter how they position or slightly position it, because we're going into an attention battle. We only have so much attention. Time is the asset. I want you to understand why I do the things I do, because I know that the tactics I've laid out over and over and over and over again, you guys can verbatim repeat some of my shit. You need to understand why. Because the only thing that will ever have value is if you understand people and you try to desperately figure out how to provide them more value than you're asking for them in return. And that is where almost everybody breaks. Everybody is selfish. You want the money. You want the thing. You don't want to provide more value than that thing is worth. You actually want to do it the other way. And by the way, when I say you, I'm not talking about this room, I'm just talking about the whole fucking game. Everybody. It's why so few people break through. Because when everybody's doing the same shit, they don't win. And all these systems look the fucking same. And they all do the same thing, and it forces everybody into the same behavior. And then there's a reason why a few people break through, because they go the other way. Everybody goes left, a couple people go right, that's where all the fucking action is. All the action is in one place. In a world where everybody is creating content for the internet, which is where everybody's eyes are, over and over, only a few can break through because they're providing more value in return, and they have patience to not ask for money in the upfront, but they actually build something and then are able to extract value later. And I don't know, I'm worried that everybody's getting pushed into things that they're not, instead of blocking it out and going all in on who they are. Because that's just where it's gonna be. That's just tried and true. I wanna get ready for Q&A, so let's get the mics going. If you have a question, start putting up your hands. Let's definitely go with that little girl who went first. Hold on. What's your name, little girl?
My name is Tegan Helen. I love you so much and you're awesome.
Thank you.
And I got some gifts for you.
Well, I'd like them. Do you want to come up here and give them to me? How are you? I have a hug? Yeah. All right. Thank you. You've written 3 books? Jesus fucking Christ. That's amazing. Great job.
My business right now, or the thing that I'm doing in Instagram, is trying to become like a destroyer of photography in a sort of way. I think good pictures, but I want to send a message to other artists about thinking that art is not what it used to be. Like, you cannot make money or a living out of it. You should actually try to be more of a personality around it. So my question is, how would you market this idea?
So you want to be somebody that tells other artists that it's not about selling the art, it's that you need to build a personal brand and be the personality behind the art, and then that's the monetization, because then people will buy your art, or because then you can do something else?
Exactly, the second part.
Okay, so that's what...
Actually, like, pursuing art for the sake of being art, and monetizing if you want it by doing something.
Yeah, I mean, first I would not tell them how to monetize. So the biggest artists in the world are self-promoters and marketers of their brand, and then they sell the art. So the first one to me is a far more interesting conversation, because artists are artists for a reason. There's a reason all those people want to take those photos or paint those pictures. It's because it's what they're good at, or they like, or it's what they love. So forcing them into, like, forget that, the art is the gateway for you to be a personal brand and monetize that, I think is just a bad strategy, right? You just have entrepreneurial DNA in you that happen to match along with the art, and that's actually a rarity, right? Most people don't carry both. This is what I'm, to be very frank, concerned of. The thought that the model is, let's take them out from what they want to do or what they want to be doing, and I'm going to teach them how to build a personal brand. The first question becomes, why are you the right person to do that? Like, have you done that?
Yeah, I'm doing it like day to day since January that I came across your content.
Doing what?
Doing what? What do you mean? Like, how
Have you made money not being the artist, but you're making money using art as the gateway?
Yeah, the second part that you said.
How? How are you making money?
Well, I started by taking the pictures and selling them.
Okay.
And so what I have done is taking your advice of narrating my reality day to day.
Your vlog, right?
Right now, I'm not like making a living out of doing this. I'm just building like the blocks to get there because of maybe this bad strategy.
Right. So first, no, it's okay. It's a good strategy. Here's the problem. Too many people want to go into teaching people how to make money a different way before they've actually ever made money without making money teaching people how to make money. I mean, for me, what gave me the audacity to talk about business was in my 20s, for 12 years without saying a fucking word to anybody, I built a $60 million retail business. That made me feel like, oh, let me tell you what I did or what I thought about. So I think the big thing that concerns me is, I think vlogging and building awareness and documenting, that's good. Because that's gonna bring you attention. My friends, attention is the currency of our society. The #1 arbitrage in our world, it's called fame, right? Get real famous and the weirdest shit happens. People give you everything for free. Makes no sense. It's backwards. You know, like, it's the #1 arbitrage. So getting people to care about you for you and your journeys is important. What you do with that power and how you make money is even more important. That's the thing to think about. So I would say, before you tell people how to make money about it, you need to do that for yourself first, figure out what that was, and then do it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
When you get any opportunity, when your head's telling you that, you know, I've got a massive opportunity in front of me in the business that I'm currently in, but your heart's pulling you in a different path.
Can you do both? Because I push a lot of people to both. When I hear that, I'm like, fuck, man, just do me a huge favor and audit every other hour, right? Like, that's a tough one, right? When the head and heart are aligned, magic. When the head and heart are pulling in opposite directions, back to why I was scared with artists, right? They're not gonna be aligned. That sucks, comma, I need to know everything you do every hour you're awake, because if I can audit it carefully, I think you might be doing enough dumb shit that doesn't matter that will let you do both. Like, you know, it's a very interesting thing, right? Like how many hours, by the way, I sleep 6 to 7 hours a night. And I think it's always funny that people think it's I only sleep 3 hours. Like, sleep is a non-debate, like you need it. So like, but I'm asking you this carefully. How many hours a night do you tend to sleep? Tell the truth, do not lie.
No, 8.
Good, sleep 7. Like, you do one less hour, right? You just told me very passionately that your head and your heart are pulling in opposite directions. That's worth 7 versus 8. Comma, how much telly do you watch? How many beers do you drink? How many YouTube videos do you watch? How many fucking conferences do you come to? Here's what I know. I believe that you have enough time to do both, especially if any of them has anything to do with the internet. Guys, every one of our grandparents didn't have this. If they had a job and they wanted to build another business, that means they needed to be there. They didn't have the fucking internet. We're so lucky. Let's take advantage of it. We're the first generation, no matter what our age is, that's living through this internet thing that's bonkers shit crazy good. That's worth chipping away. You should sit down right now, not listen to a word I'm saying, and write down every fucking thing you do 7 days a week. You've got family, you know, you've got things, people have things, but you have enough time for both. If you want it.
Told you I could change the world, I swear to God I'm the one. I kill these beats and make the murder look fun. Lots of change, it's a slow adjustment. With new people in a great discussion. Caesar's Rick Rubin, Wolf's playing 40. Chopping up files, trying to form a new story. Tell C's keep the mic recording, cause these words here gon' get me touring. I drive fast, but I stay in my lane. I know I'm sport, but I stick to my game. I ain't stupid, look where I came. And you do still sounding the same. The simple days left gone for good, that's great. Cause so much change, life rearranging, nothing's the same.
Just wanted to thank everybody for watching the vlog. It means so much to me. Obviously this is from Friday in London. Sunday afternoon right now, getting ready for the week. Super focused, super revved up, ready to do some serious damage. A lot going on, so much opportunity. It's a mindset thing. Either you're excited about it or you're not. I'm ridiculously excited about it, and I see all the opportunities at hand. Practitionership, architecture, optimism.
I ain't stupid, look where I came. And you do still sounding the same. The simple days left gone for good, that's great. Cause so much change, life rearranging, nothing's the same.